Cool kids, how you doing, cool kids? Welcome to the show today, I hope you want to stay. Cool kids, here we go now, cool kids. Let me play the real music and you can watch my vids. Cool kids. All right, cool kids. So today we're doing silver coins around the world. Isn't that exciting? I know it is. I know it's very exciting. And today we're going to talk about a juggernaut of a nation. Yeah, one we've all heard of. A little checkered past, but don't all nations have a checkered past? I think they do. And but definitely one of the major Middle Eastern powers is today's topic on silver coins around the world. And luckily enough for me, I only have one coin. Yep, from this country. So, with no further ado, let me introduce you to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, Saudi Arabia. Very fun. Very premier. Very deluxe. Very expensive. Double melt. More than double melt. But it's for silver coins around the world. It's half a real from 1935. 1354 if you're from Saudi Arabia. 0.917 fine with an ASW of 0.1725, which is about the same as a Canadian quarter that is sterling. So, there you go. And that is my entire Saudi Arabian stack for all that it's worth. And that's fine. I got no problems with that. It is all good. All right, let's talk about Saudi Arabia. Yeah, the way we do on this channel, because we don't just talk about the coins. Saudi Arabia is a major oil power, right? It's the single largest oil producer in the Middle East, I believe on Earth. And yeah, they definitely have turned it around since 1935 when that coin came out. So let's talk about it. Around the world with silver coins. Here we go, guys. Eva, I'm leaving, Eva. I'm leaving. Several minutes later. All right. Saudi Arabia, officially the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, KSA, is a nation in Western Asia. It covers the bulk of the Arabian Peninsula, and it has pretty big. Here's a map. That's a good chunk. Yeah. All right. Pretty big place. The country is home to Mecca and Medina, the holiest cities in Islam. And before Islam, several ancient cultures civilized the region. And it's been around for a while, the area. The big change, of course, was Islam came through and took over the region. And still holds the region to this day, for the most part. Now, we like to talk about the economics, though. We're not here to yammer and yabber on about history. History's great, but, this doesn't affect us much directly today, right? Let's get to it. The politics. Well, it's an absolute monarchy, and everything's done by royal decree. Yeah. Now, that is not necessarily inherently a bad thing. A lot of people make the mistake of assuming it is. The only problem with a monarchy is every once in a while you get a real dud of a king. And you could argue that can lower the confidence in the monarchy, which leads to, So there are inherent problems, but they're not as big or game breaking as some would have you believe. There are still monarchies on this earth, and they function. Now, the advantages of monarchy, especially an absolute monarchy, is quickness of decision making. Now, that can be a bad thing, though, right? So, if they're making good decisions, no vote, it's fast moving. The ship can move fast. But if you're making bad decisions, that goes the other way too. So there's pros and cons to that. It's not an inherently bad system, but you would want to have the best available king or queen. And that doesn't always happen. So, but we don't always get the best elected people either. So it's just when they really mess up in an absolute monarchy. Now, that's assuming that the kings are just merely concentrating on administration and executive type stuff. Now, some kings decide to go on, moral crusades and such and start dictating every aspect, micromanaging. Then you can run into some real problems with tyranny. But they're not inherent to the system. Not like some kings are very malevolent queens. There's many examples in history. There's a bit of a whack-a-mole if you get in their way, but if you stay out of their way, typically all's fairly well. But there are many exceptions. But there's many exceptions that we get dictators. Pol Pot, I won't get into it. There's a lot of good and bad in the world, and it's not just the royals that are causing the problems. So all the hatred for royal families and all that. I mean, I think of it more like a big old corporation, and the CEO got the company from their dad. And are they good stewards of it or not? Well, some CEOs are amazing. Some have to sell the company, split it up, and right. Let's see, economics. Let's do this. Where's it at? Here we go. Finally. Boy, this is so. You've hit a major country when the article is really long and has a lot of parts. So in October, as of October 2018, well, that's old news. Saudi Arabia is the largest economy in the Middle East and the 18th largest in the world. It is the second largest proven petroleum producer. Okay, I knew it was up there. I'm guessing number one's Venezuela then. And they're probably going by acres, not total production, because Saudi Arabia is quite a bit bigger than Venezuela, but I don't know. And of course, they're part of OPEC and all that. And 34.4 trillion is the estimated value of their natural resources, which is about what the U.S. debt is. Saudi Arabia's command economy, which is a type of economy where systems where distribution of goods and services or investments, production, and allocation of capital goods takes place according to the economic plans that are either economy-wide or limited to a category of goods or services. A planned economy. Anyway, is petroleum-based. Roughly 63% of budget revenues and 67% of export earnings come from the oil industry. It is strongly dependent on foreign workers, with about 80% of those employed in the private sector being non-Saudi. So, dystopian horrorland or opportunity for those in third world countries to get out there and make their talents be known. You decide. And exploitation, what? No. I mean, all people make those arguments all the time. I'm sure there's something to both sides of it. Gold mining is a significant sector. There's agriculture, including vegetables, fruits, livestock. And oh boy, they have 5-year plans, kind of like the Soviets. That's great. Okay, that could be problematic. They started that in 1970. Yeah, those 5-year plans, I mean, we have examples in history where they don't work. The one thing Saudi Arabia has going for them, though, is extreme mineral wealth per capita. So that's what you need for that kind of thing to work. As long as everybody's getting a cut and the cut's big enough to feed their families, it can work. The problem is when you start trying to do that and there's no inherent production. In other words, your production is based on some model that's based on fine goods or something that aren't being made because you're not incentivizing it. But again, we're getting too deep into this. Major producer of oil, and they are a hands-on economic planning society, so they're not laissez-faire. And again, that can be a good thing or a bad thing. Inevitably, it will be a bad thing. It always has been in history. There are no examples of it not being a bad thing ultimately. Eventually, someone misallocates resources to such an extreme that it causes great pain and suffering for all, and then boom. Now the people revolt. Now you have to put down a revolt, blah, blah, blah. It's guaranteed to happen. It's just a question of when you're doing this kind of stuff. But ultimately, it's guaranteed to happen anyway. Really, it's just what causes it. Anyway, guys, let's move back and talk to Eva. Eva's over my shit. Guys, I want to thank you once again for watching the show. I want you to find all the collectibles of your dreams while you're awake. And I want you to do it with a smile on your face. If you found this video enjoyable and you want more content like this, I'm still going to make it. It's just that, liking, sharing, and subscribing cannot hurt. And if you leave a comment, I will get back to you. I answer all comments unless the algorithm doesn't let me know you made a comment, in which case, oopsie, right? But that has not happened in a while. It comes and goes. It's a come and go, hit and miss thing. But I am happy to discuss whatever you guys like. So let me know what you want to see. I mean, just today, I made a video just because of a comment someone made that gave me an idea for a video. So that really helps me out, and it might help you out. I don't know. Thanks for watching, and have an amazing day.